Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. So, we will continue the, MSQ, or finish up this MSQ quest here before we continue with that side quest we started in the last episode. And yeah, so let's start by talking to the manager here. Welcome back, sir. I wonder if anyone can sleep with the city in such an uproar. But will you be retiring to your quarters? Yes, I will. Very good. In light of the present situation, I have had illumination prepared for all our rooms. No need to rush to the markets for lanterns or candles. Have a pleasant rest, sir.
So it's your lot's turn to be the Warriors of Darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out.
I've been watching, have you?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang, and I was there when you slew the Light Warden. Those white-haired twins who were with you. I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then? Through thick and thin? Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. It's when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love. Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time? I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
So this is what the light was hiding. He's here. I must go to him.
Intruders! Fan out and find them!
Out of my way!
Stay your weapon. We are not your enemy. When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the Warrior of Light from the jaws of death? Your armor is most distinct.
Much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
Through no choice of my own. They tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause.
Yeah. About that.
I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed. And what of their champion?
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill. Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
Ha! From what I hear, you need all the help you can get. In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
Alright, there we go. Well, let's pick up this quest while we are here. Begging your pardon, sir. But you But do you perchance intend to head outside? If so, I would strongly advise you not to stray too far from the Crystarium. Word has it Yulmore has dispatched its military to Lakeland. Given the timing, one can only assume they do not welcome the return of the night. Even now, the XIV is in the ocular, deliberating response. Let's have a small change of plans here and head up here instead. Do you have... Yeah, I do.
You have come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands. Laxon Loft, here in Lakeland. Yulmore has sent one of its airships. They have questions for us concerning the death of the Light Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
I suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
Indeed. 'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
My lord, I am come with the Yulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
A moment, Captain, if you would. Everyone, gather round.
Sorry about that.
I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish. Enter. Well, well. The commander of the Yulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmore's interest in this?
His benevolence, Lord Vorthry, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin-Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
I see. Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmore considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution. Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin-Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn. Only by my master's grace may we live out our days in peace. But I waste my breath. You have made your stance clear. In the meantime, you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmore's mercy. Promptly. One last matter. We are searching for a young artist and his assistant. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant, no. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
Am I imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of fearsome repute who has led Yulmore's army since before Vorthri's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin-Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
If Yulmore chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat. While we are grateful for your support, my lord, we cannot in good conscience put your people in harm's way.
'Tis noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since long before you arrived. Yulmore has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man. If truth be told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle of Light, Minfilia. It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmore before commencing hostilities. Having mentored generations of Minfilias, it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
I'm sorry, generations of Minphilias?
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minphilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Moren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He will be able to enlighten you. Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
All right, though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
All right. Let's head over to the library. Yes. If you're after books pertaining the Warrior of Darkness, I'm afraid most are out on loan at present. They are experiencing quite a surge in popularity. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, you wish to learn about the Oracle of Light? Then it would be my pleasure to assist. After I have finished off some few outstanding tasks, that is. While I attend to them, perhaps you could fetch me a book. The Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of Light, it's called. But it's intended for younger readers. It provides an excellent summary of the subject matters. And the artwork is quite lovely besides. I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone with an interest in learning about Minphilia. But you must see for yourself. The book should be located on the level below. Should I say, for a while there is a place for everything here. Not everything is always in its place. Despite my best efforts, in short. Best in efforts. In short, if the book is not where it should be, it will almost certainly be somewhere it shouldn't. So, good luck. Wow, thank you. There we go. Just as your eyes begin to blur, the finally comes to the rest of a cup of the illustrated tale of the Oracle of Light. No, I've never done this before. That was just pure luck. I knew exactly where it was. Have you found the book? Here you go. Yes, this is the one. I hope it wasn't too difficult to track down. I'm happy to say I've finished all my pressing tasks. If you want to call your friends over, we can begin learning at once. And he hugs that book like it's the last one. Without further ado then. It began 100 years ago, when the flood of light threatened to swallow Northrendit. Just as all seemed lost, a savior appeared who halted the all-consuming radiance. A maiden with hair of spun gold and eyes of clear sapphire. Naught was known about her, save that her name was Minfilia. And for delivering the realm, she came to be revered as the Oracle of Light. After stopping the flood, the mysterious maiden vanished without a trace. But 15 years later, her name would unexpectedly reappear in the annals of history. When Sin Eaters laid ruin to the kingdom of Obert, a young girl was discovered who was immune to the creature's blighted touch. Oh, excuse me. One with hair of spun gold and eyes of clear sapphire. She was hailed as the Oracle Reborn and came to likewise be called Minfilia. Enlisting in the Yulmoran army, this Minfilia fought and vanquished countless Sin Eaters. Like so many other soldiers, she eventually met her end in battle. Yet with her dying breath, she whispered unto her grieving comrades, Minfilia will return. And true to her words, some years later another young girl was discovered who possessed the self-same eyes, that self-same hair, and those self-same powers. She too took the name Minfilia. She too fought Sin Eaters as a soldier of Yulmor, and she too fell in battle. Many more were to follow in her footsteps, and so the cycle continues to this day. And that concludes the tale. By their valor and sacrifice, these women have saved Norrendit on numerous occasions. And were it not for them, we might never have learned of the Light Wardens and their nature. They sound like formidable warriors. Some perhaps. The truth is rather less simple. But the Oracle is reborn with certain common traits. She does not inherit the memories of or the knowledge of her previous incarnations. All of the Minfilias thus far were discovered as ordinary girls, unversed in the ways of war and ignorant of the power they harbored. While some embraced their fate and devoted themselves to training, others did not. But all were made to face the Sin Eaters, and all died to keep our hopes alive. Died keeping our hopes alive. That sounds very familiar to certain other Minfilia in our Prime world. What can you tell us of the current Minfilia? She was found by the Yulmoran army some 10 years ago and taken to their care. Or rather, their custody. She was a prisoner in all but name. For by that time, under Lord Warfare's rule, Yulmor has already abandoned resistance in favor of decadence. Minfilia was an uncomfortable reminder of the war they no longer wish to fight. A potential threat to the peace. And so they kept her under lock and key. For a long while, we heard nothing more of her. We couldn't even be certain she was alive, save that it was in the Yulmorans' best interest for her to remain under their control. But then, 3 years ago, a gallant soul stole into the city and rescued her from their clutches, just like a hero from the tales. Indeed. Well, I believe we now have a good grasp of Minfilia's tale. Thank you for your time, Moran. Might I trouble you for a word, Joffrey? Outside? I think it's... almost. Oh, there it is. Well, can't remember everything. As you will have already surmised, the gallant soul who rescued Minfilia was none other than our own dear Thancred. They have since been wandering the land together, never remained in one place for long, which is why we have not yet had a chance to meet them. We know that Minfilia journeyed here as a Hydaelyn's emissary to halt the flood of light. It could only be her that the people of the first witnessed 100 years ago, the original Oracle of Light. But while there is plainly some connection between the woman we know and her namesakes, the fact that these girls do not share her memories must surely mean they are not the same person. Tancred has no Tancred has to understand that. I have no doubt that he understands. The question is how he feels. Regardless, the Tancred we know would not forsake his charge. If he has been captured, we may be certain he will not stand idly by. Huh. There you go again, talking in your roundabout way. If you think we should rescue Minfilia, just spit it out. It just so happens I agree with you. It's quite clear that this Minfilia possesses Heidelin's blessing. And if you wouldn't hunt, and it wouldn't hurt to have a second such individual on our side, right, Joffrey? White. I see if you've made up your minds. X-Charge, what brings you here? A report and a proposal. First the report. Our scouts have confirmed that Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft do indeed have Minfilia in their custody. For the present they are holding her there, but we can be certain they will move her to Yulmore ere long. Should that happen, we may be forced to give her up as lost. So, if we mean to act, we should do it so quickly. Which brings me to my proposal. I ask that you entrust this undertaking to us, the people of the Crystarium. Right. Ooh, a new hat.
You are doubtless eager to attempt Minfilia's rescue, and with your combined strength you may well succeed. But as I said earlier, I do not wish to show our hand unless absolutely necessary. "'Twas not merely the night sky that you restored to us, but hope. Hope for the future of Norvrand. Unlike you, we cannot contend with the Light Wardens, but so long as hope burns in our hearts, we will fight on regardless. This I will prove to you." My friends, I thank you for gathering at such short notice. There is something I would ask you all. As many of you are aware, I received an emissary from Yulmore a short while ago in the form of General Ranjit. To my dismay, the General condemned the slaying of the Light Warden, and warned me in no uncertain terms that, should the Crystarium cast its lot with the Warrior of Darkness, there would be war. Let none be mistaken. We would be hard-pressed indeed to resist the might of Yulmore. Some would even call it suicide. And yet my heart cries out to fight. Better that than relinquish the hope that swelled in my breast when I beheld the night sky for the first time in 100 years. Or so says my heart. My mind, meanwhile, reminds me that to follow my heart would be to risk everything we have accomplished thus far. Clearly, this is not a decision to be made lightly, nor less alone. And so I put the question to you all. What should we do?
My lord, you already know our minds. It brought tears to our eyes to witness the knight's return. The whole of Norvrant deserves the same, and not just because some children's story tells us so.
Yulmor's influence is far-reaching. Should war break out, trade would be subject to restrictions. The flow of goods will dry up, and we will struggle to make do with what little trickles through. But make do, we will.
Aye, we can weather such hardships. Is that not the very thing the Crystarium was built for? We have always taken pride in our ability to sustain ourselves. Not just to endure, but to thrive.
When all falls down around you, rise up. Those were your words. There may come a day when all hope seems lost, but even should the rest of the world give in to despair, we shall not. We shall fight on, that our children and our children's children might know a better tomorrow.
Rousing words apart, I never much cared for those Yulmoran bastards anyway. No better than common swindlers, most of them. Wouldn't know a fair deal if it came up and kissed them on the arse.
Trust you to spoil the moment.
It appears we have a consensus. Let it be known that the Yulmoran host at Laxon Loft has taken the Oracle of Light captive. They fear the power she holds over the Sin Eaters, and doubtless intend to imprison her once more. So, I move that we rescue the Oracle, grant her a place among us, and let that be our answer to Yulmor's ultimatum.
Hear, hear!
Hear, hear!
In planning a strategy for the rescue, I open the floor to you all.
And there you have it. If Yulmor wishes to denounce us as villains, then we shall embrace our villainy. Will you do so as well?
We will not be outdone. Consider us your partners in crime.
My lord, our proposal is as follows. We begin by deploying Amaro to occupy the skies over Lakeland. They should serve to delay the airship's departure. At the same time, we scatter dream powder from the air. Not all will succumb to its effects, but it should thin the enemy's numbers, affording us an opening to swoop in and liberate the Oracle.
Very good. See to your preparations.
And what exciting crimes would you have us commit? Speaking for my fellow villains, I'd say we're capable of most things, though we draw the line at indolence.
If excitement is your desire, then I bid you join the guard. Captain Lena will give you your orders.
Alright, well, we will continue this in the next episode, because we are already 5 minutes after. And, who are you? No one from the FC I'm a part of. But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please hit the like button. And if you're new here, first of all, welcome. And yeah, if you enjoy my content, then feel free to hit the subscribe button together with the notification bell, so you don't miss out on any of my new content. I will be back again tomorrow, and until then, stay safe out there.